Hello, and welcome to Introduction to Sociology. Today, we will be going over Chapter 6, Groups and Organizations. All of the following information was retrieved from OpenStax free resources online. You can find a link that will take you directly to the free textbook in the description below. Thank you, OpenStax. Let's begin. Emergent Groups. The national tour of the Tea Party Express visited Minnesota and held a rally outside the state capitol building. Tarana Burke, who originated the term Me Too, in the context of acknowledging and supporting sexual harassment or assault victims, has spoken frequently on the evolution and issues regarding the Me Too movement. Groups and organizations. Tea Party. Originated with the general principles of lowering taxes and limiting government debt. Formed partly in response to bailouts and other economic rescue programs following 2008 recession, gained significant strength in opposing the Affordable Care Act. Not a formal political party, but does have structure, units, and affiliated members. Exhibited great influence on Republican Party and therefore on the nation. Me Too. Originally coined by Tarana Burke to offer support and awareness for women who had experienced harassment or assault. Reused as a social media reference by Alyssa Milano in order to build solidarity and demonstrate the extent of harassment and assault. It came to signify the rising awareness of and attention to sexual harassment of women in many professions, particularly the entertainment industry. While the Me Too movement has formal and informal leaders, including Tarana Burke, many people who act on behalf of the movement or identify with it do not necessarily follow guidance or direction from a central organization. Defining groups. Group refers to any collection of at least two people who interact with some frequency and who share some sense of aligned identity. Aggregate refers to a collection of people who exist in the same place at the same time but who don't interact or share a sense of identity. Category refers to people who share similar characteristics but who are not connected in any way. Types of groups. Primary group refers to a small, informal groups of people who are closest to us, typically longer-term relationships. Secondary group, larger group, less personal, may be temporary. Expressive function is a group function that serves an emotional need. Instrumental function refers to being oriented toward a task or goal. Primary groups typically serve expressive functions, and secondary groups typically serve instrumental functions, but the definitions are not strict. For example, a group of students at a college are generally considered a secondary group, but experiences can make them into a primary group. In groups and out groups. In-group refers to a group a person belongs to and feels as an integral part of their identity. Isivos, out-group refers to a group of which an individual is not a member. In-groups can sometimes refer to others as inferior, which may lead to insults, bullying, ethnocentrism, racism, and so on. On the other hand, people may feel excluded or othered from a group through no fault of the group's own. Some in-group status is dictated and formalized, such as earning a place on a team or a job promotion. If an individual would have gotten the promotion, they would have gained a desired in-group, in addition to higher pay. Question: where do you most often see in-groups and out-groups? A. In educational contexts. B. In work or professional contexts. C. During recreation or leisure, e.g. going out. D. Within family. Or E. Online. Let me know in the comments. Reference groups. Reference group refers to groups to which individuals compare themselves. People can have more than one reference group at the same time: peers, family, idols, or public figures, e.g. entertainers, activists, writers, athletes. Non-family connections like church leaders or educators. Sometimes these groups may provide conflicting influences or characteristics. Figure 6.3. Athletes are often viewed as a reference group for young people. Question 2. What is your strongest reference group? A. Family. B. Friends. C. Peers in general, including friends and non-friends. D. A public figure or someone highly accomplished in a certain area. Or E. Spiritual groups, group size and impacts. Dyad refers to a 2-member group. Triad refers to a 3-member group. Even though these are both small groups, they have very different dynamics. George Simmel wrote about the differences. Dyads can have equally opposing sides. So, for example, if there is a dispute they cannot resolve, either one person has to compromise, or it might leave a lasting impact on the group. And if a dyad breaks up, the group is over. A triad can lead two people to override the other person, may make one person feel excluded, or may offer even more support and perspective. Also, if one person leaves the triad, it can continue. The other two become a dyad. Leadership. Leadership function is the main focus or goal of a leader. Instrumental leader is a leader who is goal-oriented with a primary focus on accomplishing tasks. Expressive leader is a leader who is concerned with process and with ensuring everyone's emotional well-being. Leadership style is the style a leader uses to achieve goals or elicit action from group members. Democratic leaders are leaders who encourages group participation and consensus building before moving into action. Laissez-faire leaders are hands-off leaders who allow members of the group to make their own decisions. Authoritarian leaders are leaders who issues orders and assigns tasks. Conformity. Conformity is the extent to which an individual complies with group or societal norms. People who don't conform are usually very easy to notice, depending the size of the group and the degree of nonconformity. Pressure to conform can lead people to do or say things they wouldn't normally, and even to do things they know are wrong. Simon Ash's experiment resulted in people purposely providing incorrect answers to a relatively easy and non-controversial question. They did so in order to conform. Recall the discussion of polling inaccuracy. Why might some people be reluctant to admit their intended vote? Figure 6.5. Cadets illustrate how strongly conformity can define groups. Mesos. Women political candidates. U.S. citizens, including women, indicate that they prefer masculine qualities in presidents. In addition, women face the likability trap. Women who rank low in feminine qualities rank lower in likability, but men who rank low on the same qualities do not rank lower in likability. Women also face the double bind. Women who exhibit strong competence are generally less well-liked, but people demand competence of their leaders. This seeming contradiction makes clear why women generally face a more difficult challenge in winning elections. Double long. Formal organizations. Formal organizations are large, impersonal organizations. Bureaucracies are formal organizations characterized by a hierarchy of authority, a clear division of labor, explicit rules, and impersonality. Types of formal organizations. Normative/voluntary organizations are organizations that people join to pursue shared interests or because they provide some intangible rewards. Coercive organizations are organizations that people do not voluntarily join, such as prison or a mental hospital. Total institution is an organization in which participants live a controlled lifestyle and in which total resocialization occurs. Utilitarian organizations are organizations that are joined to fill a specific material need, bureaucracies. Hierarchy of authority is a clear chain of command found in a bureaucracy. Clear division of labor is the fact that each individual in a bureaucracy has a specialized task to perform. Explicit rules are the types of rules in a bureaucracy, rules that are outlined, recorded, and standardized. Impersonality is the removal of personal feelings from a professional situation. Meritocracy is a bureaucracy where membership and advancement is based on merit, proven and documented skills. Iron rule of oligarchy is the theory that an organization is ruled by a few elites rather than through collaboration. McDonaldization. Application of the fast food, mass production, or big box store model to other aspects of society. Provides greater profits due to monitoring, predictability, and efficiency. In education, one-size-fits-all, nationalized programs such as Common Core and No Child Left Behind are met with intense scrutiny and resistance from parents, states, and educators. In healthcare, mergers of providers and switch over from small doctors' offices to larger systems and urgent care centers. Insurance companies dictate policy and practice, and personalized care seems rarer, de-McDonaldization. Not an accepted term, but a logical counterpoint. Buy local/small business initiatives. In education, more recent laws put more control to states/districts. Healthcare, however, might not be changing. This will conclude Chapter 6 of Introduction to Sociology. I hope to see you in the next video for Chapter 7, Deviance, Crime, and Social Control. Have a good rest of your day.